Step onto the court, we ballin' all day. From downtown to the paint, we don't play. Swish, swish, hear the crowd roar. This game is ours, we crave more. Fast breaks and crossovers, we dominate. Ball, we rise above the rest. Listen to the podcast, join the quest. Heartbeats racing, adrenaline high. This is where champions fly.
Hello, welcome to the B-Ball Podcast. How you doing? I'm one of your hosts, Bryant.
What's up, man? This is Eric. What's up, man?
Going on, and welcome to the B-Ball Podcast. What's going on, Brody?
Nothing much, man. Nothing much, man. How's your day been today?
Going good. Saw a good show yesterday.
Whew. Yeah, man.
Grand Slam, as you may call it.
You know, man, this is so cool, man, considering that, mostly when we talk about sports, we don't include things like wrestling in there. But, we're including it in now. Because
it's definitely something to talk about. It's a physical activity, so I call it a sport. So,
you gotta be athletic to do it.
Yeah, and some of the stuff we seen, you really got to be athletic to do it. You got to be strong to do it too.
Yep, no, you're right about that.
Well, I want to get in this first match where we had Liv Morgan, in the first match with Rhea.
Rhea Ripley.
Oh, Rhea Riches, my bad.
My bad. Yeah.
But it was a pretty good match. Had a dislocated shoulder in between.
And she popped that thing back in
at the very beginning. It seemed like so. Boy, it got good, but
so a little backstory behind that, and that what makes this match so great, man, because they've had a really, really strong story leading into this. Because after WrestleMania, Liv Morgan hurt Rhea Ripley, injured her shoulder. So Rhea Ripley had the women's championship belt, but she had to relinquish it because she was hurt. And who won it? Liv Morgan eventually ended up winning it after Rhea Ripley relinquished it. So that kind of played into the story as well.
It was definitely a drama-filled story throughout.
Yeah, man. Look, that boy Dirty Dom. That boy Dominic Mysterio.
Dominic came in. It seemed like he was helping, but he wasn't.
Yeah, man, and that's another thing that adds to the story, because they, in the past few matches that Liv Morgan has had, Dominic Mysterio has made it look like he wasn't trying to help Liv Morgan, but Liv Morgan ended up winning all those matches. Then looking back on it now, it's like, okay, you purposely were trying to help, but trying to make it not look like
happen. Yeah, sabotage.
You're right. And the fact that Liv Morgan was like, I'm coming for everything that Rhea has, including your man. And she literally took her man.
Yep, he walked out with
her. Look, man, when Dirty Dom started kissing Liv Morgan,
that was the most shocking. That was the most shocking part.
I started screaming. I was like, "No, Dom, don't do it! Don't do it!"
You can hear the boos. You can hear the boos.
Oh yeah. Look, Dominic Mysterio, when it comes to being a heel or a bad guy, quote unquote, he is one of the best in WWE in wrestling. Period. Since he's turned to a heel 2 years ago, he has been the biggest heel still to this day. Like, whenever he comes out, he can't even talk on the mic because people are booing him so much.
Yeah. I mean, you could tell, like I said, the boos were definitely apparent. And I had turned down my phone for a second because I couldn't even hear anything else. I mean, flicking off the crowd, walking off I guess they're together now, huh?
Yeah, man. And now we're going to see, because Dominic Mysterio and Rhea Ripley, they're both part of the Judgment Day, the group that they have. So now that this happened, what's going to happen with the Judgment Day? We're going to get into a little bit more with the Judgment Day later on.
Yeah. The next match, I believe we had
Braun Breaker, Sami Zayn.
Yep.
Okay.
This one, I'll be honest, this one I kind of was disappointed in the most. It seemed like it was the least energetic.
So that was the shortest match of the night. It was maybe like 5-6 minutes long at the most.
Yeah.
Or at least it felt like it. But so Braun Breaker is a really, really dominant guy. Ever since he came onto the main roster from NXT, their developmental brand, he has been dominating. He comes in, he destroys everybody. Okay. And Sami Zayn, the last time they fought, Sami Zayn beat him. And Braun Breaker was pretty much like, that was a fluke, essentially. But at the same time, because they made Braun Breaker look so strong every night on Monday Night Raw, and then when he went and lost to Sami Zayn, this is kind of the makeup of it now. They had to make it up because Braun Breaker is that dominant guy who is going to be the future of the company. But the next match, oh my gosh, man, let me tell you a little something, man. LA Knight, man, LA Knight. That's all I gotta say. And because of his path, his journey that he's had to fight through in order to get here, he organically got over with the fans. The WWE was not trying to push him into be a wrestler. They were trying to make him a manager for other wrestlers. But because he just gained so much support from all the fans, the fans made WWE make him to a wrestler again.
Yeah.
And this was a couple years ago, and ever since then, man, he has just skyrocketed in popularity. He is one of the biggest faces in WWE. And to see him, when he won that championship, man, and he climbed on the top rope after he had a belt, I just felt the emotion. I almost was in tears, man. I got so emotional. I'm not gonna lie, man.
What did you think of Logan Paul? You like his career so far?
Look, man, so Logan Paul is a very iffy subject with me. Obviously, he has a lot of stuff on outside the ring that I necessarily don't personally agree with.
Yeah.
But in the ring, his talent, it's hard to deny his talent that he has in the ring, considering that he is not a guy who wrestled for 5-10 years before he got to WWE. He got to WWE and was like, oh, I want to do a match. I'm athletic. Yeah. And then he turned that into, okay, how serious can I take this? His third singles match, he was facing Roman Reigns for the championship belt. It's hard to deny that talent because he is very, very talented. He has changed what is meant to be a celebrity coming in to wrestle in WWE.
Logan Paul definitely seems, like I said, physical attributes. He look like a linebacker. So it's hard to deny that. That next match, though, when we talking about linebackers,
Nia Jax.
Boy.
Yeah.
Who know how beatable that girl like that?
So Nia Jax and Bayley. It was a great match. Nobody expected it to be that good because the storyline building up, maybe it wasn't, as built as strong. But one thing I will say, so the reason why Nia Jax got this match was because earlier in the year, she won the King of the Ring or Queen of the Ring tournament. And if you win the King or the Queen of the Ring tournament, you get a championship match at SummerSlam. A lot of times in WWE, whenever you have that type of stipulation where you win a match and now you get to go face the champion, they kind of lack storyline sometimes because a lot of times WWE is just two guys or two girls, whoever, who don't like each other and now they're going to fight.
Beefing for a while, yeah. They got to beef.
Yeah. And it's not really like that with this case. It's more so like, okay, you won the number one contender, come try to take it off me. But this is the first year that they have done it like this, where the King or Queen of the Ring gets a championship match at SummerSlam. So because it's their first time doing it, I really think they try to emphasize, hey, if you win this tournament, because in the past it hasn't really been taken seriously because nothing has come out of it. But now that if you win it now, you get a championship match at SummerSlam, they're showing that, hey, if you win this, then you can
Guaranteed
become
slot.
champion. Essentially, yeah. It's like the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble is 30 people in the match, and then if you're the last one standing, you get a championship match at WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm.
And so they're trying to emulate it with the King and Queen in the ring now, which I really like it.
Yeah, you got to tell with the placement of it, they didn't really know how that match was going to be out because they put it right after the Logan Paul. It's kind of, in the middle. So,
Yeah.
no,
that is true.
But good God.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, because Bailey gave her a
She held her own.
strong.
She
Yeah, she had that strong. She had a power slam on had Nia Jax on her shoulders, walked around with her, and then slammed her. It's pretty crazy. And then you had Tiffany Stratton run in. Now she has the Money in the Bank briefcase, which she won earlier this year. If you win a Money in the Bank, you get a guaranteed championship match whenever you want.
Yeah, cash it in, right? Get to cash it in.
But at the same time, Tiffany Stratton and Nia Jax are also best friends. So Tiffany Stratton ran in to try to distract Bailey so that Nia Jax can win. But I don't fully believe that. I think that Tiffany Stratton actually intended to come in,
picking your competition at the end
and do it. Yeah, but then Bailey ended up stopping her and punching her, and she came off the thing. I believe that Tiffany Stratton actually intended to try to cash it in, because it's in WWE, if you're paired up with somebody and y'all are friends, eventually y'all are going to split up. That's just how it is. So this is kind of the first seed being planted in this.
So more to develop on that storyline.
Yep, exactly. Because Tiffany Stratton still has the Money in the Bank briefcase, and Nia Jax is now the champion, her friend. So Nia Jax could get done winning a match, and Tiffany Stratton be like, you know what, today's the day. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna cash it in. Yeah.
I don't see that girl losing, boy. No time soon.
Yeah. Hey, Nia Jax is the cousin of The Rock and Roman Reigns, and they're all in that same family.
Oh, she's part of the. I should have known.
Yeah.
Well, I told her linebacker. I saw them linebacker shoulders, so I knew.
Yeah.
But the next match we had Mr.
Drew McIntyre.
Mr. Drew.
CM Punk, okay, with Seth Rollins as a special guest referee.
Yep. That was a little tricky right there, wasn't it?
Look, man.
So in the storyline.
Okay, so previously, when I was talking about storylines behind a match, a lot of times it's just two people who don't like each other. This is the epitome of that. Drew McIntyre and CM Punk have been beefing the whole year.
Yeah.
Since CM Punk came back last year in November. November. Ever since then, Drew McIntyre and CM Punk have been beefing, because in the Royal Rumble, Drew McIntyre injured CM Punk. Then at WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre had a championship match against Seth Rollins, won. CM Punk had beat up Drew McIntyre after the match, because Drew McIntyre was pretty much taunting in front of CM Punk's face.
Yeah.
Yes, and then CM Punk beat him up, and then the Money in the Bank winner from last year still had his briefcase. He runs down, cashes it in on Drew McIntyre right after he wins it, and he loses the belt because CM Punk did that.
Yeah.
And there's another pay-per-view that happens after that is in Drew McIntyre's home country, Scotland. Okay. Drew McIntyre was about to win the match. CM Punk comes in, fucks it up, beats up Drew McIntyre. He ends up losing that match.
Yeah.
They had a Monday Night Raw in Chicago, where CM Punk is from. And Drew McIntyre obliterated him, completely beat him up, like caught him lacking, essentially. He carried CM Punk and threw him inside of an ambulance. this storyline has been building for so long. And then on top of that, Seth Rollins doesn't like either one of them. He has beef with both of them.
It seemed like he was him and Punk had the most beef out of everything.
So before CM Punk came back to WWE, Seth Rollins has been known for talking so much junk about CM Punk, talking about how much he hates him, how much he never wants him to come back to WWE. He's essentially working with Seth Rollins off rip.
Yeah.
At the end of the match, they were fighting over a bracelet.
Yeah, the friendship bracelet.
No, okay, so CM Punk, it had his wife's name on it and his dog's name on it. Okay. And Drew McIntyre had stole it from him that same day that he had put him in the ambulance truck. He stole it from him, and he pretty much came out to the ring with it or whatever. And they were both fighting over it. Seth Rollins ended up picking it up, and he ends up putting it on.
Yeah.
While he continues to referee the match, and that did not sit well with CM Punk at all. CM Punk, that kind of cost him the match essentially because he was so focused on Seth Rollins at that point. Drew McIntyre just came in,
had him on his shoulders, had him on the shoulders at that point.
Yeah. He so yeah, and because like how I mentioned with Drew McIntyre losing at WrestleMania because of CM Punk, he lost in his home country. As a matter of fact, earlier this year in the Money in the Bank, Drew McIntyre won the Money in the Bank. He cashed it in that same night in the championship match, but CM Punk came in and fucked that up for him too. So there's just been so much stuff that happened between them. I'm actually kind of happy to see Drew McIntyre win because of all that. Like he needed to get his get back.
Yeah. At least he can hold on to it for more than a few minutes.
Yeah, for sure. Now,
that was definitely a good. That was definitely. I would have to say like I said, the Logan Paul. That was definitely the best one, I believe, but that one was a close second.
Look, as far as like as a match highlights, just as a, I guess, for all the fans out there who don't necessarily know, I'm trying to get Bryant into WWE, essentially, you know. So, yeah. Bryant is, I guess, this is also a good thing too, because Bryant is coming from more of a casual fan standpoint who doesn't necessarily fully know the ins and outs of the storyline and stuff, you know.
I don't know all the drama yet, but
yeah. But also that is a good thing because WWE also caters to a lot of those type of fans. They need to, because there's people that's only going to tune in during the big shows, because WrestleMania is the biggest show of the year, SummerSlam is the second biggest show of the year. So people are going to tune in for those shows. So they know that they have to put on for those shows so that whenever those casual fans do come in and watch, they might want to stick around for a little bit.
Entertainment.
And you know, having the viewpoint or the opinion of somebody who doesn't follow it in and out is equally as important as somebody who does watch it all the time too.
Yeah, but definitely talk to me in 6 months. I'll be there.
Oh, hey, that was up. I'm definitely gonna get you in there for sure.
But I believe who was after that?
It was Gunther, the ring general, beating
versus Priest.
Damian Priest. I'm so happy for both these guys, man, because I remember watching these guys when they first got into WWE, like very, very first few matches, and to see their growth is amazing. But back to what I was saying earlier with the Dominic Mysterio and the Rhea Ripley, Damian Priest is also a part of the Judgment Day in that same group. And then also Finn Balor, his buddy, they're also part of the Judgment Day. And this was a super hard-hitting match. They were beating each other to a pulp.
Oh, yeah, there was blood. There was blood spilled out. So
Yes. Damian Priest has Gunther about to win. And Finn Balor, his partner, his buddy in the Judgment Day, and Finn Balor turns on Damian Priest and pulls Gunther's leg on the rope, stopping the count.
Mm-hmm.
And now Damian Priest sees red. And you know what's a really good thing? What's really cool about it? Damian Priest didn't notice that it happened until he's looking up at
He
the
had his
replay.
back. He had his back turned. He was behind them.
Yeah,
he had his back turned.
and that's really cool because he didn't know what happened until he looks up at the replay and sees what happens. That's a really cool little minor thing.
That was definitely surprising, shocking for him to
Yeah.
do.
So that is Judgment Day is, as we know it, is completely over with. And Judgment Day, for the past 2 years, they've been the top group on Monday Night Raw by far. Maybe one of the best groups in WWE for sure. But to see now that they are, I don't know if it's going to be it's completely over with or they're just going to split it into two and they're going to, I know for a fact Damian Priest and Finn Balor are eventually going to have a match now because of what happened with that.
The ending, there was like a little, like the little MCU previews to the next movie. Like you saw a few seconds of it and you were like, he was choking them out the last time you saw. So
yeah,
it's only smoke from there.
Exactly. And same thing with Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan. Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan, this feud is nowhere near over.
Yeah, you throw my shoulder out of places on site every time I see it.
And take her man, bro.
Nah, I messed that part up. You threw my shoulder out of place.
Yeah, man.
Throwing it in the table and walls to get it back. Nah, it's on site every time I see it. So
every single time, bro.
I definitely see that builder. I think the last matchup they had tonight, it was definitely the star guest. A lot of star guests coming out.
Yep.
A lot of shock. We had a return that was
man,
crazy.
This is kind of weird for me because Cody Rhodes, love Cody Rhodes. I love Cody Rhodes so much, man. I've seen him in person multiple times now, and it's just such a treat, man. I'm not gonna lie, because it's not even just his in-ring ability that he's able to do. He's one of the best wrestlers in the world, but on top of that, he just has the charisma of.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that the way he gets the crowd. I'm talking about 5 seconds into the arena.
His entrance alone, man. His entrance alone is iconic, and they were showing him walk to the ring yesterday, like backstage footage going to the ring or whatever, and I could not help but feel as if I was watching one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, WWE wrestlers of all time. When I'm watching this and I'm thinking of Stone Cold Steve Austin walking to the ring, The Rock, Bret Hart, Shawn Michaels. I'm putting Cody Rhodes in that same type of category. He's the new face of WWE, point blank period. There's nobody above him right now. But with all that being said, the boogeyman is now back. Roman Reigns. So Solo Sikoa, obviously, he's been portraying himself that he is the new tribal chief, considering that Roman Reigns lost to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania earlier this year. And Solo Sikoa pretty much like, hey, you lost, so you're not the tribal chief no more, I am. But Roman Reigns, he's obviously been listening to all this stuff, he's like, hey, I'm not going to keep letting you run your mouth. And this is iconic because this match was a Bloodline Rules match. And at WrestleMania earlier this year, when Cody Rhodes beat Roman Reigns, it was in a Bloodline Rules match.
So it was all bets off.
Yes. And the fact that Roman Reigns comes back to help Cody Rhodes win the Bloodline match or a Bloodline Rules match is iconic. And they had a little stare down
I
afterwards.
think, I was just gonna say, I think that was a show of respect. Like at the end,
Yeah.
it was just, I mean, he did nod his head. I mean, what
Yeah.
else can you do?
Yeah. Yeah. And let me say this. They and I just found out earlier today, like confirmed, when he first came out, I was hearing the music that was playing from
Mm-hmm.
his entrance, but it sounded a little different, but I could not tell if it was different or not because of how loud the crowd was.
Yeah.
The crowd was so loud when his music hit, but I found out that it was like a remix to his original song. But the fact that I could not tell because of how loud that crowd was is crazy.
I mean, they miss him. You see all the signs, the posters.
Yeah.
Everybody with their arms, hands, legs, and feet out. I mean,
yeah. And now that they're cheering him as a good guy, that's exactly what WWE wanted originally for him. So it all worked out in their favor now.
I mean, yeah. I don't know where to go. Where we're gonna go from here, though.
Who knows what's going to happen? I'm just so excited for what is to come with WWE because this is by far, in my opinion, the greatest year in professional wrestling history. And it's a bold claim, man. But you got to realize, man, though, we had WrestleMania 40, this past one that just happened, was the greatest WrestleMania of all time. And this SummerSlam, I'm going to say that this was the greatest SummerSlam of all time. You have both of those in the same exact year, and you got Roman Reigns coming back. It's so much stuff that's already happened in a year, and we still got 4 months left.
Yeah.
I'm definitely saying that this is the greatest year in professional wrestling. You know, and there's a lot of reasons I'm going to say that because one, WWE is doing so many international shows. So far this year, they've had two shows in France, 2 pay-per-views. They got a pay-per-view coming up at the end of this month in Berlin, Germany. They just did a tour in Japan. They did a tour in Mexico earlier this year. Last year, they did a show in Puerto Rico, like a pay-per-view in Puerto Rico. They've done shows in the UK. Australia. It's just growing so much internationally. Everywhere they go, they're getting,
more recognition, more organized.
And I don't know if you've noticed it, like just by watching this little bit, but WWE, man, it has a true sports feel to it.
Yeah. And I think, I think like the additions, like you said, the people coming in now, it feels different. You got people like Logan Paul. I mean, that's a whole different audience he brought with him when he started. Like
that is true.
And you got to give him credit. I mean, he fighting in the big fights because he bringing in the big views.
That is true.
Everyone will see that because that's what I mean. That man fighting Mike Tyson, and that man 77 years old. You're
right.
That man, I mean, it's just you bring that in, infusion, different wrestlers, new generation.
Yeah,
it might be what you just said. Might be the greatest time in WWE history.
I don't know, man. And also on top of this, before every match or before every show, they have interviews with the wrestlers as if it's like a pregame interview, and they have post like show press conferences as if it's a real sport. They have their own section on WWE. I mean, on ESPN. ESPN was blowing up my phone with notifications yesterday from SummerSlam. They got a merger now with TKO and UFC. Roman Reigns earlier this year and Cody Rhodes were both on First Take promoting WrestleMania. It is a true sports feel. And the camera angles, man, to me is something crazy too, because before the matches, man, like the way that the camera looks, it feels like a big match, like a big UFC match, a big boxing match. It feels super, super big.
Yeah, especially the Paul and Knight fight, how they had all the cameras coming from different angles, like you said, from the top swinging down, and you can see like the whole arena, and it was just more than just the stage, which you usually
Yeah,
get a view of. So it's definitely expanding. I mean,
yeah,
the Rock
and
money going to good places. The Rock's money going to good places.
no, that's true.
As you can see, upgrades. So
Yeah, and hell, and this is also the deepest roster that WWE has ever had as well. You know, there are so many superstars, like superstars, big name superstars who were not on this match card at all, who did not have a match. Um, Jey Uso, who is one of the cousins of Roman Reigns, Jey Uso is one of the biggest faces in WWE. He didn't have a match at all at SummerSlam. Bianca Belair, Jade Cargill are two of the biggest women in WWE right now, two of the biggest faces, and they didn't have a match. There's this group, the Wyatt Six, who just debuted a couple months ago, and one of the hottest things in wrestling. They didn't have a match, or they weren't even showed on SummerSlam. So if next year SummerSlam is going to be 2 nights now, instead of, because WrestleMania, that's how it is now. They started a few years ago where they have a night 1 and night 2. SummerSlam is going to be the same thing because the roster is just way too big and way too packed with great superstars.
yeah. Once you get those view numbers up, I mean, you can expand it.
Yeah,
So,
and there's just more money in their pocket too.
yeah, that's what it's
And
at. That's
two
what it's at
two
the end
nights
of
worth
the
of
day.
tickets.
Yeah, too. And food.
2 nights worth of food, apparel,
Yeah,
merchandise.
you're right about that. And views alone.
Yeah,
But yeah, it definitely looks like the WWE is in a definitely good direction. Looks like, it's something that we definitely will be talking about for the next foreseeable future. So,
yeah.
what do you think was the most shocking? What were you most shocked at?
I was most shocked. I could say Roman, obviously, but I think it was kind of like people were already kind of suspecting that he was going to come back,
I was
including
gonna say,
myself. Um,
yeah, they had "We Miss You" Roman.
yeah, yeah. I'm gonna say the most shocking thing was Dominic Mysterio kissing Liv Morgan, man.
Yeah, I
I
definitely think that was the most intriguing, especially like you said, from me, kind of casual fan. That definitely was the most intriguing. That was a
yeah,
most
yeah.
intriguing event.
I'm gonna say that was definitely the most shocking thing because I did not expect that to happen. I expected Dominic Mysterio to still ride with Rhea Ripley, you know, even after this match. I did
We
not.
should know. We should know. She threw a shoulder out of place. You know,
Yeah,
folks so quick to leave. Folks, she threw a shoulder. Oh, your shoulder out. She said, "It's
that's
out. It's out." He said, "I'm out." No, I'm just like,
that's crazy.
she said, "It's out. It's out." No, I'm out. I'll see you later, baby. But that definitely
No,
was the most intriguing. That I don't know who did this order, but they did a really good order. They did a really good order of the fights. It definitely even the Bailey fight, it's still, like I said, good order.
yeah.
Kept entertaining throughout. So
Yeah, no, definitely for sure. But that also plays in the part. Triple H is the guy, the head person in charge. Triple H used to be a wrestler back in the day, iconic Hall of Fame wrestler. Um, so he kind of knows the ins and outs of how to run this business successfully. And he came in, once he came in and taken over, WWE has been hotter than ever. And Triple H really, really, really knows how to put a good match card together. Because
yeah,
this match, this card was only 7 matches long. And like I said, this roster was so deep, we didn't see a lot of superstars that we could have seen.
yeah,
This easily could have been 10, 11, 12 matches on the card. But something would have been cut from all of these matches essentially to make that.
Get all of it in, yeah.
Yeah. So, Triple H is really about quality versus the quantity. And because of that, we got a really great show. So I'm not complaining.
Yep. But definitely looking forward to see what's happening next. Got a few more events, like you said, a few more specials coming up. So we'll see what happens there. Excited to see where it's going.
WWE's coming to Columbus at the end of September.
At the end of September, let me look at my schedule.
September 28th, I want to say. Coming to Columbus Civic Center.
Y'all may see a live with us at the WWE in Columbus then.
Hey, we'll be there, man. Look, my auntie work at the Civic Center. I can definitely get some tickets.
Oh, hook up. Hey, you said Civic Center, so they should give us tickets.
You're right.
Yeah. It's free promo. But definitely we'll have to get on that. And like I said, just looking forward to where it's gonna go and the things I learned. We'll see how that goes.
Hey, yeah, man. That's what's up. I mean, I'm obviously, me being a wrestling fan, a lot of time when I talk to wrestling about people, the first thing they say is, it's fake, right? You still watch that stuff? Oh, I used to watch it when I was a little kid,
And Netflix is fake too. Just because
literally. But so the fact that I'm able to, talk about wrestling with somebody who is open-minded about learning it, is a great thing.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get the terminology. I'm gonna be talking about chops and annihilators. I'm gonna be talking about all that stuff at the end.
Okay, bet. Say less.
I didn't want to seem too smart this episode, so I wanted to dump it down, but I got a few moves up in my brain now.
Okay, bet. Say less. Okay. Sound like a plan.
But as always, we appreciate you for watching. Like I said, I'm Brian, he's Eric, and he's gonna hit us with our slogan.
Yeah, man. Be you, be great, and be ball.
Be ball.
Yeah.
I appreciate it.
All right.
Dribble past you.